In a gray, quiet town lived an elderly married couple. The man was seriously ill and had been bedridden for the 3rd year. All this time his wife stayed by his side and took care of him. But this summer she had to visit her sister, and she needed someone to look after her husband while she was gone. After explaining everything that needed to be done and kissing her husband goodbye, the woman left the house. She was supposed to be away for 4 days. There was only one strange instruction. Under no circumstances should the bandages on his left arm be changed. She promised to do it herself as soon as she returned. For the first few days, everything went fine. The old man looked relatively stable, thin, quiet, barely speaking. He was covered with a blue blanket, and the bandaged arm sometimes behaved strangely. It twitched, as if it had a life of its own. The girl also discovered something odd. When she pulled out the chamber pot from under the bed, she noticed a massive chain attached to the bed frame. On the 3rd day, she saw that the bandages on his arm had begun to darken and were covered with stains, but she remembered that the woman had strictly forbidden her to unwrap them. The arm itself already looked terrible. The bandages were dirty, damp, and something was oozing through them. They needed to be changed urgently, no matter what that strange woman had said. The girl reached out toward the bandages, but suddenly noticed that the old man was staring at her. His eyes were wide open, and he shook his head weakly, clearly telling her no. She decided to wait until he fell asleep and then change the bandages. Around midnight, she went upstairs to his room. The old man had already fallen asleep. Quietly, carefully, she began to unwrap the bandages. Under them, the arm was in horrifying condition, twisted, covered in sores, and giving off a terrible stench. Suddenly, the old man woke up, and she saw pure terror in his eyes. He tried to say something, but couldn't. The girl went to the kitchen to get fresh bandages. As she walked away, he watched her and shook his head helplessly. When she returned, she saw a terrifying scene. The arm she had freed from the bandages had strangled the poor old man. 4 days had passed since the woman left her husband in the care of the sitter. She hurried home, desperately hoping the young girl hadn't dared to change the bandages on that cursed arm. But it was already too late. Far too late.